Hello, my name is Rabba Claudia Marbach, and I am speaking to you from Boston, Massachusetts. In my first career as an attorney, I worked on what were then called shrink-wrap licenses. Then, when you bought a software program, it came on a floppy disk that you would use to download the program onto your computer. The shrink wrap referred to the plastic wrap around the envelope containing the disk. The license was printed on the envelope and said that by opening the plastic and the envelope, you accepted the terms of use of the contract. The courts of the time were unsure that such a contract could be enforceable because they were unsure about whether the contract was actually enforceable and whether people actually read and the opener consented to the terms. Today, the grandchild of those contracts reads, "Click here to accept the terms and conditions." The basic idea is you agree through a tiny action, and you are bound to a whole lot of terms and conditions that you might not even know about. At the end of Mishpatim, Moshe reads what is called Sefer HaBrit, the Book of the Covenant. Bnei Israel famously say, Vayomru kol asher diber Adonai na'aseh v'nishma. The people said, as God spoke, we will do, and we will hear. Yes, at the end, rather than just before Ma'amad Har Sinai, the revelation at Sinai. This is an example of where the Midrash and the Pshat often get confused in our minds. Rashi, based on the Midrash and Mechilta, rearranges these chapters and weaves Na'aseh v'nishma statement into the narrative prior to Har Sinai, because of the principle of Ein Mukdam U'Mu'achar b'Torah, that the Torah's written order is not sacrosanct. By moving these words, Rashi transforms Na'aseh v'nishma into a great statement of faith and turns it into a shrink-wrap agreement. Bnei Israel agree to the terms without actually hearing them. Does this make for a good contract? Not clear. It makes for a great love story, the great I do, Harei at Mekudeshet li moment. The mountain is dressed in green. There is shofar music, a photographer with a flash gun, and speeches. But as in any marriage, you say yes with great hope that your spouse will be who you think they are, because you don't know. You only know the courtship experience. I am skeptical about Rashi's rewrite. Ibn Ezra and Rambam think that Na'aseh v'nishma should stay right where it is found. After the 10 Commandments and the Mishpatim were given, there is a whole Brit ceremony that includes the youth putting up 12 pillars representing the tribes, sacrificing animals, dividing up the blood of the animals into 2 troughs, sprinkling 1 trough on Bnei Israel. Then the elders have a nice meal and see an amazing vision of God with a lapis lazuli walkway, all before Moshe goes up to Har Sinai for 40 days to get the Luchot, the 10 Commandments. Perhaps Bnei Israel did not go into this agreement without reading the terms. Not only did they receive the grand mission statement in the form of the 10 Commandments, but they accepted Parshat Mishpatim, which is filled with the nitty-gritty details of Jewish life and establishes the rule of law for all, the everyday mundane of people interacting, and not always well, but aspiring to be the holy nation of God, treating the poor and the powerless with kindness and fairness that is enshrined into our legal system. Yet, that is not all. Before the people say Na'aseh v'nishma, Moshe reads them the Sefer HaBrit. But what is this Book of the Covenant? Rashi tells us that the Sefer HaBrit is Sefer Breshit, the Book of Genesis. What about Sefer Breshit is so compelling at this point in Jewish history? It has no laws in the manner of those that were just revealed. But Sefer Breshit is full of britot, of covenants. And in many ways, Bnei Israel have been knowingly and unknowingly reenacting these covenants during Yetziat Mitzrayim, the Exodus from Egypt. The first Brit in Breshit is the Brit Milah of Avraham, the preliminary act of conversion. The Midrash in Shmot Rabbah tells us that before they ate the Korban Pesach, the Paschal sacrifice, on the eve of their departure from Egypt, all the Jewish men and boys, like Abraham, were circumcised. The next Brit was Brit Ben Habitarim, or the covenant of the parts, in which God instructs Abraham to take a variety of animals and to divide them in half. God uses language that echoes the language of Exodus, predicting the slavery in Egypt and how the children of Israel will leave with a fortune. Who knows how much of this history Bnei Israel knew at this point? One Midrash says that they kept their names, their clothes, and their language. Did they keep their family histories too? We just don't know. But surely they would recognize their connection in the promise to Abraham. Oh yeah, that really happened to us, they might say. And only then they say Na'aseh v'nishma. Once they affirm the Brit, the covenant, Moshe takes the blood from the sacrifices and divides it into 2 troughs and sprinkles the blood from one trough on the altar and the blood of the other onto the people to seal the deal, reenacting the Brit Ben Habitarim and committing it to communal memory. The Beit Halevi wondered why Na'aseh v'nishma is said in the plural. We will do and we will hear. He thinks it's a statement of mutual responsibility. Each accepted the contract for themselves, and then the responsibility to help their neighbor live up to the terms. But I would suggest that when the people answered as one, they were answering as Abraham did. They were renewing his Brit, his covenant with God. The rereading of Breshit connected the people to their history and to the Brit. However, there's another reason to add the reading to the contract. The 10 Commandments are the great statement of purpose, a mission statement. Mishpatim established civil and ritual society and the values that those rules embody. Breshit is about gemilut chasadim, acts of loving kindness. While justice is crucial, Judaism tempers itself with gemilut chasadim, putting your values into action in the service of others. The Ha'amek Davar said that Na'aseh refers to the mitzvot that one is obliged to do. In contrast, Nishma refers to gemilut chasadim, those acts which go above and beyond the letter of the law, the ultimate kindness. In this light, let us reread Na'aseh v'nishma as Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do these mitzvot that God has commanded to us, but we will also listen with the core of our souls, and the mitzvot and the values that they embody will enter us, and as we do them, and we will hear the values and be mindful, and mindfully incorporate them into ourselves. We will accept and reaffirm the Brit first established with Abraham, but affirmed by the entire nation. Have a good week and Shabbat Shalom.